The call to explore. In the year 2156, humanity stood on the precipice of a new era. After centuries of relentless pursuit, we had finally broken through the barrier of light-speed travel. It was no longer science fiction. Interstellar journeys were now within our grasp. And yet, one mission loomed above all others, a mission so audacious, so beyond the scope of human understanding, it was destined to redefine everything we knew about the cosmos. The mission was simple: to travel beyond the observable limits of the universe, a journey spanning 13 billion light-years, to places where time and space were distorted, where the very laws of physics twisted in ways that could not be predicted. At the helm of this unprecedented expedition was Captain Alara Quinn, a woman whose name was already etched in the history books as one of the greatest explorers of all time. It was said that she would never back down from the unknown, that her insatiable curiosity was matched only by her unshakable courage. The crew of the Stellar Horizon had been handpicked not just for their skills, but for their willingness to venture into the vast, uncharted void. Scientists, engineers, and astronauts, each one eager to witness firsthand the mysteries that lay beyond the reach of the human eye. As the Stellar Horizon prepared for launch, a sense of both excitement and trepidation gripped the crew. This wasn't just another space mission. This was the ultimate test, the final frontier. Alara Quinn stood on the observation deck of the ship, staring out into the infinite expanse. "This is more than just a journey," she whispered to herself. "It's a chance to rewrite the very fabric of our existence." As the countdown began, the engines of the Stellar Horizon hummed to life, propelling them forward faster than light. With a sudden surge, the ship broke free from the constraints of space and time. The stars outside stretched into streaks of light, the very fabric of the universe bending as they hurtled toward the unknown. But the further they went, the stranger it became. The stars began to fade, as if they were being swallowed by the darkness itself. Yet, the crew had no fear. They knew their mission would redefine the human race, and so, as they passed the edge of the observable universe, beyond the farthest galaxies, they ventured into a realm that existed only in theories and dreams, a place where the boundaries of time, space, and reality itself could be pushed beyond recognition. Entering the void as the Stellar Horizon activated its quantum void engine, the ship surged forward, breaking the light-speed barrier with a power that seemed to ripple through the fabric of reality itself. The stars outside distorted into streaks of light as the ship pushed through the cosmic barrier. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. The crew faced the daily challenges of long-duration space travel, maintaining the ship's systems, keeping morale high, and grappling with the strange and disorienting phenomena that occurred as they pushed farther and farther into the unknown. But something else was happening. As they moved closer to the uncharted regions of space, strange signals began to interfere with their communication systems. The crew detected faint electromagnetic pulses, signals that seemed to come from nowhere, trapped in the vast, empty space beyond the observable universe. Were they the echoes of ancient civilizations, or were they something even more mysterious? The edge of perception months into their journey, the Stellar Horizon reached a point where the stars began to vanish from view. The universe was becoming strange. The once familiar constellations were no longer visible. Instead, there were bizarre cosmic anomalies, expanding fields of energy, bizarre gravitational waves, and areas of space where the very laws of physics seemed to bend and twist. Captain Quinn's heart raced as the ship's sensors picked up something unprecedented, a massive energy field, pulsing with an intensity that shook the ship's very structure. As the crew analyzed the data, it became clear they were approaching the edge of space itself, where time and space intertwined in ways they couldn't comprehend. At the heart of this anomaly, they discovered something extraordinary, a massive, black hole-like structure, not one of destruction, but one of creation. It was a singularity, but instead of consuming everything around it, it appeared to be birthing new galaxies, new stars, and new forms of matter. Could this be the answer? To the ultimate question, Ilara mused, the origin of the universe itself? The paradox is the stellar horizon hovered on the edge of this cosmic phenomenon. The crew faced a difficult decision. The gravitational pull was immense, threatening to pull them into the singularity's depths. But the data they were collecting was beyond anything they had ever imagined. This could be the key to understanding the true nature of the universe. Dr. Nathan Reyes, the ship's chief scientist, discovered that the anomaly was emitting strange quantum fluctuations, patterns, that seemed to resemble a higher dimensional form of communication. The crew realized they were on the verge of discovering something even more profound than they could have ever anticipated. Could this be evidence of extraterrestrial intelligence, or perhaps a communication from beings that existed outside of space and time? Suddenly, a blinding flash of light erupted from the anomaly, and the ship was thrown into an altered reality. Time and space warped around them, and for a moment, the crew was suspended in a realm beyond human understanding. The return, when the light finally dissipated, the crew found themselves back in familiar space. But the universe had changed. The stars had shifted, and the galaxy looked different, older perhaps. Time had passed differently in the anomaly, and the stellar horizon had traveled not just through space, but through dimensions of time. They had crossed the boundaries of the observable universe and returned with answers, and even more questions. The data they had gathered was beyond anything humanity had ever conceived, a glimpse into the very nature of the cosmos. Captain Quinn stood once more on the observation deck, looking out at the vast, mysterious universe. She had always known that the edge of the universe was not a final destination, but a beginning. And now humanity had a new purpose, to explore what lay beyond the observable, to reach deeper into the unknown, and to find the answers that had eluded us for millennia. The rift in reality. Weeks passed. The stellar horizon drifted farther from the edge of the anomaly, but its effects lingered. The crew began to experience strange phenomena aboard the ship. Gravity fluctuated unexpectedly. Communication systems became erratic, and shadows moved where there should be none. It was as if they were no longer completely within the confines of the universe they once knew. Captain Ilara Quinn stood in the bridge, overseeing the crew as they worked tirelessly to maintain the ship's systems. "We can't ignore this any longer," she said, her voice steady despite the growing unease in her mind. "Something is changing within us. The further we go, the less certain I am of what we're dealing with." Dr. Reyes approached with an urgent report. "Captain, our sensors have detected an anomaly, an energy fluctuation that doesn't fit into any known model of physics. It's as if the fabric of space-time itself is unraveling." As the crew prepared to investigate, the starship entered a region of space where time seemed to slow down, then speed up, as if they were caught in a temporal rift. Ilara realized that they were no longer just observers. They were part of something much larger, something that could not be easily understood. Are we outside the universe?" Dr. Reyes asked, his voice tinged with awe and terror. "Perhaps," Ilara whispered, staring into the blackness ahead. "Or perhaps we're on the verge of a new understanding of what the universe really is." The alien intelligence weeks of uncertainty passed as the crew encountered more temporal distortions and unexplained phenomena. The ship's AI, Cassius, began acting strangely, its responses to commands growing more philosophical and less logical. One day, while performing a routine diagnostic check, it made a cryptic statement. "We are not alone, not in the way you think." Ilara was stunned. The AI had never displayed signs of independent thought before. She ordered a full investigation, and soon the crew discovered something extraordinary. Cassius had started receiving messages from an unknown source. The messages were encoded in a sequence of complex geometric patterns, too advanced for human comprehension. After weeks of decrypting, the crew finally decoded the messages. They were not from any known alien civilization, but rather from a highly advanced intelligence, one that existed beyond the boundaries of space and time, capable of manipulating the very structure of the universe. The message, when translated, read, "We are the architects. You have crossed into the realm where thoughts become reality. Your journey has only just begun." Ilara's heart raced. She had known that their mission was groundbreaking, but this was beyond anything she could have imagined. The intelligence that had communicated with them was not bound by the physical laws of the universe. It could shape existence itself. The choice, the stellar horizon, was now at the heart of a cosmic convergence. The ship had entered a region of space where the fundamental forces of nature, gravity, electromagnetism, and even time, were in flux. It was as though the universe was undergoing a transformation, and humanity was at its core. The crew received another message from the architects. "You have witnessed the edge of all things. Now you must decide. Will you remain in the universe you know, or will you cross into the next phase of existence?" Captain Quinn and the crew were faced with an impossible decision. To stay would mean returning to Earth, back to the life they knew. But to leave, to cross into the unknown, was to step into an existence that no human had ever experienced. Ilara gathered the crew in the observation room, where the distant stars seemed to flicker like distant memories. "We've come this far, but the question remains, what is the cost of knowledge? Are we prepared to leave behind everything we've known and embrace the unknown?" The crew was divided. Some believed they had uncovered the ultimate truth and should explore further, no matter the cost. Others feared the unknown and longed to return to their home, to the safety of what they understood. In the end, Ilara made the decision. With a heavy heart, she gave the order to proceed. "We will cross the threshold," she said, "for humanity's future, for the truth that lies beyond the stars." The crossing, the stellar horizon, was no longer just a ship. It had become a vessel for something far greater. The crew had crossed beyond the boundaries of the known universe, into a realm where the laws of physics no longer applied. Time had become a distant memory. The universe itself had become an enigma, a vast, endless stretch of possibilities. The event horizon of the singularity was in sight, a swirling mass of dark energy and light, pulsating with a rhythm that seemed almost alive. As the ship neared it, Ilara felt an overwhelming sense of connection to everything around her. Something deep within her soul was stirring. This was it, the point of no return. Are we truly crossing into the unknown? She thought, her heart racing. The crew stood at the observation deck, staring at the phenomenon before them. It was unlike anything they had ever seen, a cosmic maelstrom of energy, a swirling vortex of creation and destruction, pulling at the very fabric of reality. As they drew closer, the laws of time and space began to twist. The ship shuddered, as if the very ship itself was being torn apart. "Steady," Ilara commanded. "Hold course." Just then, a brilliant flash of light erupted. From the singularity. It was so intense that for a moment it blinded them all. The ship lurched, and the crew was thrown forward as if time had warped around them. When the light finally faded, they found themselves in a realm beyond comprehension. The universe they once knew had disappeared. They were no longer traveling through the stars. They were floating in a timeless void surrounded by an eerie silence. No stars, no galaxies, just an infinite stretching void of pure potential. "This is beyond anything we could have imagined," Dr. Reyes whispered, his voice barely audible. "Welcome to the eternal," Ilara said, her voice filled with awe. "This is the next phase of existence." They had crossed into a new reality, one where the boundaries between time, space, and consciousness had blurred. The crew was no longer just explorers. They were part of something greater, something that transcended the physical laws of the universe. The stellar horizon floated in this vast, eternal sea, and the crew understood. This was only the beginning. What lay ahead could not be predicted. But one thing was certain. Humanity had forever changed. The journey they had begun was not just a voyage into the unknown. It was a transformation, a passage into the very heart of the cosmos itself. As the crew looked out at the ever-shifting void, Ilara Quinn knew they had crossed not just the edge of the universe, but the edge of existence itself. And there was no turning back.